Dr. Hebe is here from WT Music History.
Yeah.
We've got to start there.
Okay.
When I think of music history, is it old school history? Is it, I mean, because look, there's music history that's not, you know, Beethoven, right?
Yeah. So I teach music history at WT, and like you said, history doesn't have to be distant.
Right.
And actually, I'm so glad you asked me about that, because one of the things that's like a key element of my pedagogical approach is getting students really interested in history, and one way to do that is to make history local. For them. And so one of the things that I've been doing in my classes, in my undergrad classes and graduate classes, is trying to get students into primary sources that are related to local history. So one of the things, I'm involved with the Amarillo Symphony, and I recently wrote a book about their history. They turned 100 last year in October of 2024, which is very exciting. And so they asked me to put together a coffee table book celebrating the symphony.
Wow.
And so to do that, I got to dig into a lot of the primary source documents that are in the Panhandle Plains Historical Museum, and also just in the Amarillo Symphony archives.
Neat.
And then I got to bring my students kind of along with me on that ride, which they really enjoyed. I taught a class about the American Symphony a couple semesters ago. And so they got to know the histories of like symphonies throughout the United States, but then also the history of our local symphony, which was founded by a women's music club here in Amarillo. Yeah. So in the symphony's earliest days, it was run by these women who just wanted more than chamber music to be performed here in the Texas Panhandle. And so they put together an orchestra. They found a conductor who was a woman, a music club woman. They were the philanthropists and the executive branch of the, you know, they were really running the whole show for the first few years. And that's actually kind of a unique story for the foundation of a symphony. But just getting like back to the question about teaching, like getting my students into that local history, it just makes them feel like, you know, music history is not something that's just happening over in Europe, and it's not something that just happened hundreds of years ago. Although I love studying music from hundreds of years ago too, because my other research specialization is 17th century Austrian music.
Is it really?
Which is much more distant.
Listen, it is distant, but I mean, all very, very, I think that is a very cool job. And I think that WT, man, we have great music. We're having a big festival that's going to be next weekend, and I want people to save the date, because you kind of went a little bit through the list of what we're going to hear, and then a special guest artist.
Yeah, so this is the World Music Festival is coming up at WT. It's the first one.
Okay.
Talking about bringing music history and music closer to us. Mila Abbasova, who's our piano professor extraordinaire. She doesn't teach piano. She teaches class piano and music theory at WT, and is our star accompanist. She accompanies a lot of our graduate students and our choral ensemble. She's amazing. And for the last few years, she's produced a Russian music festival. But then this year, we've decided to pivot and make it a world music festival. And this year, it's going to focus on American music.
Okay.
And so the repertoire, all of the pieces on the concert will be by American composers. And we're bringing in a very exciting guest artist whose name is John Tegmeyer. He's a clarinetist who graduated from WT a number of years ago, and is currently highly in demand gigging musician in Los Angeles, and also a composer. And actually, if you're interested, his music's going to be featured on my radio show this weekend.
What? Wait a minute. I want to know. You have a radio show too?
Yeah. There's a radio show.
Okay.
On High Plains Public Radio. So
oh
HPPR.
My goodness.
It's called Classical Music Amarillo. And this week we're going to be featuring, the first half of the show is going to be all of John Tegmeyer's compositions, kind of getting us ready for the World Music Festival. So that airs at noon on Sunday on HPPR, and then a rerun on Thursday at 7 p.m. And so if you're interested in John Tegmeyer's music, you can tune into that.
Yes.
Also on that radio show will be the WT Symphonic Band, which is going to be our kind of headlining ensemble for the World Music Festival. They're going to play a really exciting program of Ron Nelson's Rocky Point Holiday, a piece from a concerto for wind ensemble, and then an arrangement of Shenandoah, which is just an iconic American tune.
I love,
Really, really beautiful.
That's
and then they're
a good
going to close out with a piece called Free Birds, and this is the one that John Tegmeyer is going to join Doug Story, who's our clarinet professor at WT. This is a concerto for 2 clarinets and wind band, and it's really great. It's a really exciting piece, and it's based on the Leonard Skinner tune. So,
So we can get a little dose this Sunday, but the festival, the 27th, do we need tickets, and what time?
It is not, you don't need a ticket, it's free. It's at 5:30 p.m. in Mary Moody Northern Hall on the
Okay.
WT campus on Sunday, April 27th.
Oh,
And
it's going to be good.
you can also hear the WT Brass Quintet is going to play, and Sarah Beckham Turner, soprano, is going to sing a set of 4 songs, accompanied by Doug Story, our clarinet professor. So it's a really varied program of all American music. It's going to be a really great show.
Yeah. Yes, I love that. I'm so glad that you came.
Yeah.
And listen, we need to get more. We need to do more with you. And what a talent over at WT. And I'm so glad you came today.
Yeah,
and
thank you for having
telling
me.
You're very welcome, and we'll keep telling everybody the WT Music Festival, the 27th.
Yep, the World Music Festival,
Alrighty.
WT World Music Festival.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Thanks for coming.
thank you, Allie.
Stick around.